What's up, guys? Welcome to Life Knowledge. My name is Justin Alphabet. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe down below. Today we're going to be talking about how to travel alone. Thank you guys for taking the time to watch today. Make sure you stay to the end of the video so you get all the information you need. So you want to learn how to travel alone, and it's pretty simple. But I'm going to give you guys some tips and tricks on how to make sure that you feel safe while you're traveling alone. First off, you let somebody know, a trusted adult, friend, family member, know where you are where you're going before you go. Most places in the world have internet at this point, and what you can do is you can share your location through Google. Share Google location, and use the Google tracker to make sure that somebody knows where you are at all times if you have your cell phone on you. You can also buy one of those suitcase tags. They have taggers on suitcases and things like that, and you can put one in your pocket, and you can also put one in your suitcase pocket, so you know where your suitcase is at all times and where you are at all times, and you can make sure that another person has access to that account if you're really worried about being kidnapped or taken advantage of or something like that. Also letting the U.S. Embassy, if you're from the United States, know where you are. You can send them a letter or an email or of your itinerary and things like that, where you're going to be staying and things of that nature. And that can, letting people know where you're going to be is kind of a big part of, safety. And then also beyond that, there are other things and measures that you can do to take care of yourself. Like there's a couple different items you can buy online where you can jam a door with a door stop. They have these door stoppers that are alarm door stoppers where when you push on it, it's like a wedge, right? When the door pushes up on the wedge, it starts an alarm and sets an alarm off, which will scare the attackers or scare people who are trying to enter your hotel room or your domicile. You can also put a shiv into the door where the bolt of if you can see this door right here, if you see right on this part right here, actually, this little thing has a thing that sticks into the wall. There's a little piece that you can put that thing through, and it's called like a shim or something like that. You stick it in there, and it makes sure that people can't open the door or whatever from the outside. There are also, the upper bolt doors that you can put in there, and there are things that you can put on those, the little knobs and the, swing open so a person can't open the door fully when they're trying to enter your hotel room. That's another thing. You can also put a chair up against a door and jam the lock upward like this so that people can't twist the handle down or whatever. That can also help if you're worried about safety in your room. Tying the door shut can also help. If you want to tie it from here to over there or something like that, that can help deter people if you have no other options. Making sure that you have an exit is also important. Whether it be onto a balcony or something like that, or through a window or whatever it might be. That's important. Having a phone, like a phone line in your hotel room, can also be beneficial when you're traveling alone. If your cell phone isn't working or, having a landline. Knowing beforehand the locations that you're going to and doing research on where you're going and what you're doing, and staying with tour guide groups. If you're going by yourself, finding groups to link up with can be very beneficial, but obviously make sure that these people are trusted and that you guys will be going to public locations and not taking too many risks, right? Most touristic places are pretty public in the first place. Like if you're going to Rome and you're going to see the Colosseum, you're going to see, the various sites, in Rome, the Vatican or whatever. A lot of these places are very public, so it's you'll be in crowds of people. There will be people who can help you in a time of distress or things of that nature. But it's times where there's certain places that you'll be the most vulnerable, and that can be in public transportation, like to and from locations. If you're alone in Uber or alone in a cab or something like that, you can be vulnerable. Or also, like with smaller groups, if you're a woman and it's a group of all men, obviously don't go with all them. If you're a man and it's a group of all women, obviously probably the same thing or whatever. Make sure it's a mixed, group of people, and that it's more than, 3 to 5. If it's more than 5, typically it's a more safer group. You can tell that for sure. um, Pretty much, it's as a rule of thumb. There are also other things you can do. We've talked about location, we've talked about, door security, we've talked about oh, as you're in the Uber or whatever, make sure that your doors are locked on either side, because people could try to enter into the vehicle, um, and kidnap you from a vehicle. That can be a very vulnerable place to be, but a lot of people don't think about that. There may be people who try to follow you back to your hotel room as well and find out where you're living. So sometimes a trick to do that is, first off, don't ever get in the elevator alone, or like make sure that there's other people entering into the elevator with you as you go in, like a group of people or whatever. If there's no one in the lobby or whatever of the hotel, then just make sure that you wait there, or just, I guess, like, if there's no one in the lobby, then just go by yourself and make sure that no one can sneak in through the elevator doors behind you or whatever, you know what I mean? And then also, when you are if there are a lot of people, make sure you go into the elevator with a lot of people to a specific floor. If people are being weird, click the wrong floor, and get off on that floor and take the stairs down. But make sure nobody follows you, because sometimes they'll try to follow you back to your room and enter your room. Another tip and trick about this is, oftentimes people will be robbed. That's mainly what most people are, worried about while they're on the road. A couple things that you're going to want to do to make sure that you don't lose all of your money or your passport while you're traveling is, there can be little pouches that you hide under your shirt that have like waistband pouches. They're little black bags. They're waistband things. You can put your keys, your passport, money in there. That's really important, and things of that nature. But what I suggest is that you keep other money outside of that, so that if you are being robbed, you can give the robber something so that they feel like they've gotten something from you, and then they leave you alone. Most robbers don't want to take your life, they just want your money. So comply with them, give them the money, and have that extra money so that you can save your life, because your life is more valuable than any amount of money that can be taken from you. So just give it to them. It doesn't matter what it is. And make sure you toss it to them. Like, don't hand them anything so they can't grab you or get too close to you. Toss it on the ground in front of them, so that and then start backing up slowly so that you can get away from them. Don't run, because that may cause them to shoot or whatever. Please don't do that if you're in a hostage situation or things like that. And just try not to do anything too reckless. Obviously, yell for help if you are caught in a situation where you're alone or whatever, and do your best to learn some self-defense beforehand. I recommend Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. They have a lot of really good techniques in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or Krav Maga. Those are the two that I recommend. A lot of other things like karate or taekwondo just don't cut it. Like, they don't in today's modern society. And men can be very powerful, women can be very seductive, and so there are things that your attackers may know that you don't know. So being as well prepared and equipped as possible is the plan. So if I were you, I would learn how to do some Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, because they do submissions which force people to give up or tap out or whatever, or you can choke them out and knock them out in various ways, or immobilize them. Same with Krav Maga. Krav Maga teaches you to go for vital parts of the body, like eyes, mouth, nose, groin, solar plexus, or vital parts of the body that are tissue sensitive, painful parts. So use some, you can YouTube some videos if you can't make it to a class or you don't have a class in your area. But I highly recommend doing the work and physically going in there and practicing these moves, because it's much different, enacting violence in a situation in real life than it is in like a YouTube video. You just watching a YouTube video one time is not going to give you the proper knowledge and techniques to be able to handle yourself in a full hostage situation or something like that. So do the work, you practice a lot. Obviously, if you have a long time before you go on this trip by yourself. And also, a couple of the things I thought about is that you can find friends on Facebook or groups on Facebook that you can reach out to beforehand for tour guides, for things like that. I know Groupon, if you guys have ever heard of Groupon before, and I'm not sponsored by them, but they have like different attractions that you can sign up for. Like when I went to Hawaii, I just looked on Groupon for fun activities and things like that, and I found some surfing guides or some island guides or things of that nature, and there are a lot of different countries that have these kind of things. You can find them online. Obviously make sure they're reputable and they have reviews. That's important. I know Yelp is a similar thing. You can look for reviews on specific things. Google Maps also has business reviews, so you can see the level of certain things. And last but not least, the most important thing is to have a plan. I think I briefly mentioned it before, but make sure you have a travel itinerary or a travel plan, which in some countries they actually require that you have one of those and that you email it to the government agency, or you write down something specific of every residency that you're going to be at, every hotel that you'll be at. When I went to Korea, they had us write down all the different hotels that we would be staying at on a entry form into the country. And in the Dominican Republic, they might have also made us do that. But a lot of countries are doing that more often nowadays so that they can keep track of the people coming in and out of their country and find them if there's any issues or coronavirus issues or just all kinds of different issues that may arise. So anyways, yeah, if you guys have any questions, go ahead and comment them below. I can make more videos about this, but this is how to travel alone. So thank you guys for watching, and have the day you deserve. Let's level up, and I'll see you in the next one.